Hi, this is Marie, your marker prop colorist, and we're going to be using Botanicals 2 by Paper Smooches. Today we're going to be doing a little technique, and I'm going to use actually two of the little images from this stamp set that I'm going to put together. This is often a background stamp set. However, I'm going to be using this for my focal image. We're going to be using a special technique today using a Mega-Flake from IndigoBlue. And this is like little tiny, very light metallic pieces. And I'm using Royal Peacock. This is can be used for so many different things, but I'm going to use it with this Botanical 2 stamp set. And we're going to use Flitter Glue, again by IndigoBlue. That is a very strong, sticky adhesive that stays wet for a long time. And I don't have a special little foam pad that people often use with them, so I'm using a stamp set. Just the pad from a regular stamp cleaner, and I'll cut it into squares, and I'll just use that. I have this little tag that I'm going to be using on my card. It could also be used for a little bookmark, but I am going to put it on my card. And I created kind of my own multimedia background with this card. And I created a butterfly out of white cardstock. I did some glossy texture paste with a stencil. And I'm going to put my little tag right on there. Now I'm going to take the Flitter glue and just put a little bit on a palette knife, spread it on the smooth side of this stamp cleaner pad. Nice and smooth and very thin layer. Very, very thin. And that will stay wet for a long time. I'm going to just tap it. Some people call it little kissing motions on and off the stamp. You don't want to get it on any part of the stamp that is not raised up. So just lightly touch the image and use a small piece of you know, the little sponge for this particular piece, so you don't get any on the rest of your stamping block. And now while it sits, we're going to go ahead and stamp this, and then I'm going to go ahead and clean off my stamp and my block and my hands, because you do not want to get any of the adhesive on any other part of your card. So now is a good time to go clean your stamp set. And now I'm just going to pour some of the metallic flakes onto my stamped image and patting it down so that it adheres to the adhesive. Do you see all those beautiful colors that's in this one? They come in many different colors, but I'm using Royal Peacock because I really like that kind of blue that was in there, as well as kind of the gold and the silver, the copper. And none of this is wasted. It can all just be placed right back in the container. I kind of find that sometimes using a laundry softener sheet will help kind of clean up some of that mess too. So now I'm going to take the kind of the brush side of my stamping pad and very lightly and very evenly, just lightly touch and do stroking motions or rubbing and remove any excess metallic flakes from my image. And again, keep this very light and very even touch. Again, none of this is going to be wasted. It can all be just the excess right back into your jar. Some people prefer to store it in a little box or a plastic container, but I like to put it back in my jar just for convenience, and also I don't have that much space. Now I'm just wiping up my area with a fabric sheet. I'm going to gild the edges of my little tag using a gold leafing pen. These can be picked up in just about any craft store at all. And I'm just going over the edges just to coordinate with my focal image and for the gold that's in the background of my card. Just gilding the edges. Isn't that pretty? You can see all those colors in there. I'm going to take some twine with some gold in it as well, and just put this through and make myself a little tag. Pull it. Now I'm going to kind of measure it on my card, and so I don't cut too much off. I'm going to clip it, and it'll fit on like that. Isn't that pretty? I like the looks of that. I also used some sprays for my background. I used the little Mr. Huey, and I used the opaque white. You can see some of it on the flowers. I used it on some of the butterfly and the leaves, the hand-punched leaves, and I used the Heidi Swap. This is called Gold Lame, L-A-M-E. And in the background, I also used some Heidi Swap teal. And I punched my butterfly on white paper and again misted it with the Heidi Swap Gold Lane. I toned down the blue paper that I had embossed or texturized with texture paste. And I toned it down with Tim Holtz Distress ink, and I used Forest Moss because I wanted the background to not be bold, but to go into the background and allow more attention to the focal image. And here are some other little samples I just practiced with before I did this. And I clearly think that the chunky stamps work better. So I like the chunkiness. The parrot was cute, but it wasn't quite as chunky, and I like the look of the chunky one better. You get more actual of the Mega-Flake. I hope you like this. Hope you give it a try.